Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively we are two of the Office Blokes.
We are.
It is a true fact, a factual statement, a truth. Office Bloke Mike is still otherwise incapacitated in someone's basement. We need to know who though.
I'm assuming basements. Whoosh. That's Mike, that. As soon as you mentioned Mike again.
I think it is. We tried to have a camera too, and the gimbal has just decided to have a moment.
Play up, leave it.
Louis C.K. being savage for 9 minutes straight.
One of my favourite comedians, Louis C.K. Loved his show, loved his TV show.
He's doing the podcast circuit at the moment.
Oh, he is?
Because he's just released a movie with another comedian that's Louis C.K. funded it, and I think he directed it and stuff as well.
Who's the comedian, do you know?
It's called Joe List.
Don't know.
I've seen him on the podcast circuit, but I've never seen his stand-up comedy. Yeah. So got treated last week with Louis C.K. doing everyone's podcasts, including Flagrant and
I like Louis C.K. He's just savage.
Yeah,
don't give a shit.
He's quite a quick guy, but if you listen to him talk about film, he really is like a student of film. Right. You know, when people are really into cinematography as well. Yeah, he's done a few movies.
Nice.
Well, let's do it. Louis C.K. being savage for 9 minutes straight. Let's do it.
I was born in 1967, and so I grew up in the 70s. So I'm not racist. However, that was a very racist decade. People said racist things all the time, and nobody got offended. The only time somebody got offended if you said something racist in the 70s is when they would then say, like, hey, you interrupted me. I was saying something racist. Why did you?
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
Why? It says press.
So you press the thing because it says press? You would not have survived the camps.
Why? It's...
Dude.
It says press.
Go ahead.
Why would they make it say press?
Press the arc button. Enjoy.
Nigger. My kids are like Israel.
I didn't expect that at all.
Jesus.
Was that his voice as well, do you think?
No, I don't know, no. I'm not sure. I didn't really hear it. I heard what they said, but I didn't really pay attention to the accent.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Palestine. And I'm like America. The little one's like Palestine because she always gets screwed. She gets the worst deals. She's like, she threw a rock at my face. I'm like, you're fine. Here's a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because there was a black guy walking behind him. We had a town child molester. His name was Jean-Baptiste. It's a true story. And he liked teenage boys. That's when you would find out, because I was a teenage boy. He didn't like me. I felt a little bad.
I have this friend, he has a phone that can IM, he can instant message, and so now I really want him to die, because I'm sick of getting these fucking messages from him on his phone. I'm in a shoe store. That's the whole message. We're not secret agents. I don't need to know where you are.
You know, kids are mean, and it's because they're trying it out. They look at a kid and they go, you're fat. And then they see the kid's face scrunch up and they go, ooh, that doesn't feel good to make a person do that. Right. But they got to start with doing the mean thing. But when they write you're fat, then they just go, that was fun. I like that.
You're the only person we could find who would come here to defend masturbation.
Well, I like it. It's easy and it's fun and nobody gets hurt.
The Bible teaches us that lust in your heart is a sin when acted upon outside the context of marriage.
Well, I'm not married, so anything I do is outside of that context.
So I get this message from him. He says, I'm on an airplane in Seattle. So I wrote back and I said, well, I hope your plane crashes. And he gets pissed off and he calls me, take it back. We're about to take off. I'm like, fuck you. I hope it crashes. I don't have to take it back.
Don't be a musician. That's a stupid thing to do for a living. But if it doesn't work out the way you wanted, you can look at these. You got these guys here.
And he tries to make. He goes, well, how are you going to feel now if my plane crashes after you went and said that? I'm like, are you shitting me? That would be amazing. To know that I can do that? I'd happily trade your life for knowledge of my powers.
Special powers, yeah.
Enjoy each other under his loving gaze.
When you mean that God watches married people have sex?
Well, God watches over everything.
So we're like porn for God. He watches us, and then he probably masturbates.
Have you ever tried?
Tried not to masturbate?
Yes.
Well, sometimes I won't do it for like a week, but that's just so that when I do it again, it'll be way better.
I'm thinking of buying a goat. Because I want to have a trash can that I can make love to. I can do that with the trash can I have now, but a goat has a vagina. That makes it a lot better.
Hey, what would you do if you had a time machine? Like, fuck you. I don't... You know what? I wouldn't use it. I just let it sit in my house. I'd put a drink on it, and yeah, I got a time machine. I never even wanted it. I don't know. Not interested. I'd use it to go back 30 minutes ago and punch you in the fucking face before you ask me that. That's all. One use.
I'm a good citizen, I'm a good father, I recycle, and I masturbate. And I'm proud of it. And God's happy. And later I'm going to masturbate and I'm going to think about you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
So he said if he had a time machine, he would kill Hitler.
That was a bit of foreshadowing, wasn't it?
I'm not sure, was that real? Was that real or was this?
I think that was a sketch.
Yeah.
Her acting was a little bit too like an actor, rather than an actual activist that's on a show like that.
He would go back and kill Hitler. I love that he thinks he can just kill Hitler just because he just goes back there and walk up and kill the dude. And I was thinking, that's a noble purpose for a time machine. I would do that, but I would have gone back then, but I wouldn't have killed Hitler. I would have raped him. That's what I thought. Because I think that would have been enough. I think that would have stopped him from doing all that shit. If he had been raped by me, he never would have pulled any of that stuff, man.
I got to get the phone and write hi to like 50 people. And then, somebody cool writes back, and then somebody not as cool writes after, and I'm like, oh, you, I'm not going to...
I'm not condoning rape, obviously. You should never... rape anyone, unless you have a reason, like you want to fuck somebody and they won't let you, in which case, what other option do you have? How else are you supposed to have an orgasm in their body if you don't rape them? I mean, what the fuck?
I had to flush my daughter's fish down the toilet. I came home, the fish was dead. She wasn't home from school yet, so I just flushed the fish. And then my daughter comes home. Why did he die, Dad? Come on, what am I gonna say? Why did he die? Because who gives a shit? That's the reason. That's the actual reason. Is because it didn't matter that he was alive. That's why he's dead. He didn't know his name and he didn't love you back. These are the facts about that fish's life. Children who have...
I had that chat with the kids yesterday because we're building a big run for the chickens. And I said, the reason we're building it like this is we're going to try and stop foxes getting in. And they were like, well, build it better. Put rocks around it. We need to do more because if foxes get in, they'll die. And I'm like, yeah.
That's how the world turns.
Yeah, I'm like, you'll learn a very important lesson that day.
What are you building?
I've built a big tunnel that's about 5 meters long for the chickens to go behind the trees. And then there's an outdoor sort of run.
Right.
It's so they're not free roaming in the garden.
Right, yeah. So they're just fenced in, but they just got, somewhere to sort of like...
Yeah, so they're not in
stretch the legs.
So they're not in their little coop. Thing. But yeah, I just said,
turning your house into a farm, aren't you?
Just 2 chickens and 2 kids. I'm fine with that. But I'm like...
All right, an ark.
But yeah, I just said it to him. I'm like, it'll be sad if a fox gets them, but we'll go to the farm and we'll buy 2 more.
How much does a chicken cost?
It was a tenner for one that was kind of like a normal standard looking chicken, a hybrid. And then I got one that's kind of black with sort of ginger bits. That was 14 quid because it's a bit of a posh chicken.
Waste of money.
But very much like the fish, if they go. I like them, but if they go, oh well, I'll get some more.
He's brutal though, isn't he?
He is. He's an absolute savage.
Yeah, he just says stuff that's just way, way over the line, but it's funny with it. It's a joke.
It's so mad that he was such a sort of industry darling considering his type of comedy.
Yeah.
Because I've watched kids' movies. I think Secret Life of Pets, I want to say. It might be that. He's like the lead role in it, and it's a kids' movie. I was watching it with the kids going, that's Louis C.K.
Yeah.
And my son said, that guy that wanks in front of people. No, he didn't.
Allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. I'm not saying don't get married. If you meet somebody, fall in love and get married, and then get divorced, because that's the best part. It's the best part. Marriage is just like a larva stage for true happiness, which is divorce, because you just let go and everything's fine now. Divorce is forever. I took both my kids to the aquarium in Boston, and we were looking at this seal or sea lion. I don't know which one. I don't care. I don't think they need to be separate things. I really don't. They don't care, and we don't care. There's like 3 scientists who give a shit what we call all those things. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. If you're in a good marriage, stay in it. If you're in the best marriage ever, stay in it. I'm just saying, if you got out, it would be better. That's just a fact. I'm sorry, but it's true. Everything's better. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. Nobody's watching your kids' videos on Facebook, I promise you. I'll prove it to you. Next time you tape your kids dance, take 1 second of it, and then add 20 minutes of just your own asshole. Just go in the bathroom and just record your own anus opening and closing for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's about right, isn't it?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I mean, Louis C.K. is definitely up there, isn't he?
100%. He's in the top. He's in the top percentile, I would say, of top comedians.
He really is.
Yeah, he's definitely top table comedian.
I think cutting that, because we reacted to that, but maybe skit ages ago, and like the way they'd cut that then takes all the timing out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you cut from like him going, he finishes a premise, and then there's just laughter.
It's I don't know, with CK, it's just, for me, he's that across that. He's more across the line than people like Jimmy Carr.
Big time.
Me. He's just very, very bad.
Jimmy Carr,
but funny with it.
Jimmy Carr has done some of the most offensive jokes ever, but few, like not as many. Louis C.K. is just like across the board, very, very.
It's a line that just goes right across.
Yeah, and like Jimmy Carr is very formulaic. I do like him as a comic. I think he's really funny, but his stand-up sets are very formulaic.
Louis C.K. is just like brutal. Love it.
It's just no one's off the cards.
But that's my humour.
That's the way it should be. Isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Don't forget, like and subscribe, please. Hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.